So my work is around ensuring that herbicide-resistant crops and other transgenic crops are, first of all, safe for the environment, and also what are the consequences in terms of the selection of herbicide resistance. I've made a minor economic contribution, but in support of a much larger industry contribution. The industry contribution has been very dramatic. Our herbicide-resistant crops have been one of the most highly adopted technologies in agriculture. I think that they're just slightly behind the cell phone in terms of their adoption rate. Everyone who's human does the easiest thing, and herbicide-resistant crops are very easy. Now I have to tell people that don't use the really easy thing. Now you need to do something a little harder. So I think that's been one of the challenges, is to encourage growers to change their management practices to really take a long-term view and put in practices that may be a little more expensive or a little bit less profitable in the short term, but longer term, they will avoid a problem of herbicide-resistant weeds. Oh, I've been enormously blessed. I've worked with some superior scientists. The two that come most quickly to mind is Dr. Hugh Becky from Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada in Saskatoon, Dr. Neil Harker, again, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, but now we're working in Lacombe. We've teamed up on virtually every one of my projects. We've been working together for the last 20 years. So. Well, I think that my passion is really just driven by curiosity. I love problems, and these are wicked problems. I've been more of a curiosity-driven researcher, I'm afraid. Well, Alberta is, of course, it's a huge agricultural area to work within, so I had a very large canvas to play in. We've had enormously generous funding from the growers. That would be canola growers, barley growers, wheat growers, oat growers, pulse growers, and all of the funding opportunities that's allowed. Now, what we're seeing coming down through the system are crops that can withstand abiotic stress, things like drought or cold. And we're going to be asking similar questions. Are these new crops, are these new transgenic crops going to become weeds or invasive? I've never been driven to seek fame. So I'm a bit overwhelmed by the ASTech nomination. I always felt that I was one of the worker bees, kind of pushing things slowly along with my colleagues uphill. So it's a bit overwhelming to be nominated for the ASTech.